Hey guys, welcome to the Big Talk with Thoughts. I'm so excited for this episode. Thank you to Mike for joining me this episode with the return of Zach. He was with us the last episode. Mike wasn't able to join us, basically the two dudes reviews are back, and their channel will be down in the description with their Instagram and all that social media stuff. So their stuff will be in the description. Go check them out. Go hit that subscribe button. Even go to the recent video and comment in the comments and say that the review show Austin from the review show sent us. And I subscribed and I enjoyed the video, something like that. Something that knowing that I know that I am doing something and spreading their channels. So this is this is kind of more for me because I really want their channel to grow and have them even go out and help other smaller channels. That's what I'm kind of moving on with here. So hopefully I can get even smaller channels to come on the Big Talk. Yeah. Anyway, guys, we have a lot of stuff to talk about. We there's even a rant at the end of this episode. So it's a fun episode. Thank you for very much for joining me. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed the episode. Okay. So the Matrix 4's full title has been reportedly leaked, not linked, but which is kind of don't know where I don't remember what the title was called. But this is kind of interesting just in general. Why is there a Matrix 4? Um, like didn't he die in the Matrix 3? Like I tried watching it, but then I fell asleep at the beginning, like maybe like
I don't
20
blame
minutes
you,
in.
man. I fell asleep through
Yeah,
Matrix Revolution, so
and I haven't seen the Matrix movies in well over a decade.
Uh,
So,
I will say the second one is kind of underrated to
oh,
me.
okay. It's called The Matrix Resurrection. Okay.
oh, so basically, it's gonna be like if you did die, he's coming back for round two or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So stupid. I mean,
Hooray!
Yeah, we have that to look.
he basically had his
Yeah,
character arc, so I don't get it. It's like there's no point. It's just a big. I think it's just gonna be a big.
this is kind of like a passing the torch kind of thing. Like maybe there's a new Neo, and he's just kind of coming back to set up the whole Morpheus thing, where he's like the new Morpheus or something. Because didn't Morpheus die at one point?
Unless they're bringing him back as well for this.
I have no idea.
I don't know. That's like basically like saying, "Hey, Anakin Skywalker wasn't the chosen one. It's actually Rey." It's like why?
Okay, but we kind of got that anyway.
Yeah,
I know, but and did people like it? No. So
I mean,
it was pretty half and half, really.
I was gonna say most people. The thing most people didn't really like was the sketchy storytelling of like, oh, here's this plot line, but then we're gonna scrap that for this plot line, and then we're gonna scrap that for this.
and wasn't that Matrix 3? We were gonna scrap the previous movies. No,
Or
that's
like when they had to throw in that quick romance between Ray and what's his name?
Kylo Ren.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, which made no sense to me in the first place. I always
well.
thought thing.
That's what I thought they were going for too. Was like, oh, we're basically siblings because our families are connected. Because you may not have been born from my family's bloodline, but you felt like you were with it because my
That do you? I mean, it's not the first time that two siblings kiss without knowing. So, I mean,
true,
You
but
know,
also they
yeah.
kind of put two and two together when they're like, oh,
You know, I think that was really good of me. The idea that Luke and Leia were going to be boyfriend and girlfriend, but then they made it into brother and sister.
honestly, I have no idea.
I think that was what they were going for at first, but then again, George Lucas changes his mind all the time. So
but who survived in the Matrix? Basically, well, the
I have-
girlfriend dies.
mm-hmm.
Way early on.
Honestly,
No,
dude,
she dies at the end, not way on early on. She dies sometime at the end. And
honestly, dude, it's hard to remember because it's been so
didn't
long.
everyone die? Didn't they lose? Or no,
I-
they won or something like that. I don't know. It's stupid.
I honestly have no idea.
This is gonna
been
be
way too
basically
long.
like the John Wick TV show, which is probably gonna be very dumb because I don't know how well that's gonna do, but I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, don't really think it's the best idea to take John Wick and put it on television because, I mean, the movies have become just iconic. And if you do it on television, depending on what network I think you put it on, it's just going to be a serious downgrade unless Keanu reprises John Wick.
I'm pretty sure Keanu has no issue though with reprising his role as John Wick. I think he's even stated in interviews.
There's like a fourth one, isn't there, coming out soon?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure he stated that he'll keep making them as long as fans are wanting them.
Yeah. And I believe this takes place before John Wick, the first one. So
basically 4 is gonna be before 1 and then 1, 2, 3. So 4,
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Or is it the TV show?
the TV show. The TV
Yeah,
show.
Okay.
The TV show is going to be the prequel.
Okay, so basically, are we going to get like that whole Keanu Reeves training montage for him to become the epic hero John Wick?
And it's going to end with his dog dying.
Mhm.
Okay, so basically, it's going to be the drama of Puppy. Oh no, Puppy's brains.
Basically.
Right.
So the next topic is that the Justice League Snyder Cut is going to be rated R. Why? Again, why? Do you really
Well-
need to make it rated R?
Well, because think of it this way: you've got Justice League, which is notorious in comic history lore of being, in depending some of the battles, quite a total bloodbath.
Mhm.
Like you have characters that are literally beaten to a pulp, cut up and slaughtered in horrible, gruesome ways. Like literally in one of the comics, which is Flashpoint Paradox, and the animated movie of the same title, you see Cyborg get ripped to shreds, and you see his still human heart beating before someone finishes him off in the most painful way possible.
You
And
can do
not
that in
only that,
PG-13. We got way worse stuff in PG-13.
Yeah, but
Because
Yeah,
now you're
you're
just
right.
because now you're just gonna have a smaller audience because
exactly.
I mean, technically, but they're already going to have a pretty small, yet at the same time, a pretty marginal audience simply because it's going to be on HBO Max only.
well, I think
Since
it's coming out in
supposed to be a
theaters
4-hour
sometime.
movie instead of a mini series.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's also supposed to be released in theaters as well. So
I mean, if they
I think that's the reason why they decided to go with the 4 hour instead of the mini series.
More likely, it's going to be released in theaters.
Maybe,
but
but-
more likely, maybe. But even then, I think because people have been wanting this Snyder Cut for years now, I think the general audience will be pleased no matter what because people were so divisive on the Joss Whedon cut, and I don't know. I think maybe Snyder will have something here.
Well,
I
not
don't
to
know.
mention, they kind of get a bit more leeway to actually do what he wanted to do. Like, I mean, there's a lot of cut content that would have probably saved the movie. A lot of different details that would have made it float a lot better, would have made the story make more sense, would have actually made us care for the characters more because, let's face it, none of us really cared for most of the characters until they got their solo movie and we got to see who they really were.
Mhm.
Like Aquaman, if you never watched the Aquaman movies, but you watch that one and see this guy, you're not going to see a man that you're going to care about. You're going to see a man who grabs a trident and is super buff, and you're going to think, Mamma Mia, and then once he's gone, he's gone.
Yeah, same thing with the Flash. You'll care about him more once he has his own solo movie, whenever that's going to be. And
That's
when
like 2022.
I think, yeah, it's going to be 2022. But even then, you didn't really care for him because you didn't know him that well. All you knew was that it was Barry Allen, and
and it's sometimes the actor as well. People didn't like the
Yeah.
actor at all.
I mean,
and
Ezra
so-
Miller wasn't terrible.
No, he's not.
No.
But I mean, like,
It was the writing. It was definitely the
Yeah.
writing.
Yeah, writing was terrible, man.
but I mean, like, it kind of gives him a bit more.
Like, what is brunch?
It gives him a bit more of a chance to really flesh out and work his stuff. Because I mean, if you say you're gonna make a 4-hour PG-13 movie, the first thing that's honestly just gonna come to mind is a 4-hour snore fest,
That's what they call Transformer movies now.
basically.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's just
Nobody-
it's the Snyder Cut's been over too hype, and I think it's gonna
I think
it's
so,
gonna
but
it's gonna
I
hit.
also-
I feel like it's gonna be not I want to say bad, but less good than people thought it was going to be. I
but
feel
you gotta
like
give it the benefit of the
because
doubt.
then because he only had a year to make this.
Right, but you got to remember, for whatever they had to refilm, they probably refilmed it pretty quick. And for whatever they had to cut, more likely than not, he's going to put some of that cut footage back. 'Cause
Yeah.
now that he's got that 4-hour timeline in terms of how long the movie needs to be, that cut content could be what saves the movie. The extra redone scenes could be what saves that movie, and it might not even be that much harder than just going back, re-editing a video, and posting it online like some people do.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it could, or it could just add more stuff like in BVS Ultimate Edition. I don't really enjoy that movie, but when I watched the Ultimate Edition, I like it a little bit better, but it doesn't really change like how it turns out and how the performances are and about the characters. Like like Lexter. Like I don't know if he's even less. Oh, Lexter. Um, but his character was still pointless to me. It's like he was just there to move the plot so they can fight, and so. But I don't know. Who knows? It could be good. It could be bad. I don't know.
I think one way it could possibly work is if make it into part one and part two. If it's gonna be 4 hours long, just make it two parts. Like
I could see that, but all you're really doing then is splitting the 4 hours into two-hour timelines. Because if they did release it in theaters, I'm sorry, who's gonna want to go pay money for a 4-hour movie?
they did for Lord
Comment
of the Rings.
nerds.
Yeah, but
Comment nerds will. I mean, I'm in a group chat of a bunch of people that love BBS, so they might go see it.
Possibly.
Yeah. So I mean, it depend. Well, and he's aiming at more of the comics, audience, and so and that's just what hurts him the most when it comes to like just releasing it in theaters because more it's going to be like more of people that go because when it comes to the general audience that's going to overtake the the comical people that enjoy it because the like normal moviegoers get onto Rotten Tomatoes or whatever it's going to go it's going to and if they don't like it it's going to decrease the score even more than the comic people going up and so and
right.
that
But if he's capable of fleshing out that plot line, though, it's not like they're gonna really need to worry about. Oh, I'm not a comic person. This isn't for me. Now, if the plot was like heavily reliant on you knowing your comic book lore for
that's what BBS was. It's like you really needed to know your comic lore to understand the movie, and that's what I hate about these movies that force you to go watch a TV show or go read a book to understand it. I hate that. That's stupid. It
You're a
shouldn't.
general audience member. You just want to go in there, just have a good time at the movie theaters. You don't want to have to do homework to enjoy a superhero film.
It's not like
Is that basically what it comes down to?
well, it's not like I couldn't understand it. It's just like, hey, here's a character. You should know him, and that's it. That's like
You know,
That's like
but
with
he,
Lex Luthor and BVS. You were supposed to know that was Lex Luthor. I was like, who? Like when he came out of nowhere, I was like, who the hell is this? And next when until we see him in his big building with his Jolly Ranchers, it's like, oh, it's Lex Luthor. Okay,
I'm sorry, that performance was terrible.
I didn't like him. He was just playing himself. I didn't see Lex Luthor at all, and so
That's why Bryan Cranston would have been great as originally planned.
oh yeah, for sure. Um, So speaking of I guess TV shows wise, Wakanda TV show is in the works on for Disney Plus with the Black Panther director. So this was original. So originally, I thought this was a Black Panther TV show, but it's just a Wakanda TV show. So that's a good thing. So I'm kind of curious what this could go down by. It's like the history of Wakanda. So a little bit more about just how you say his name.
T'Challa.
Yeah,
I'm not going to even try to bother trying to say his name, but maybe his father, about his father or something. I don't know. So,
Maybe kind of how they built up to that Panther God lore.
oh yeah, and something like that, or even more about the vibranium. Who knows? So I'm liking where Disney is going because they're going back and filling in the dots, and for certain movies. And this is how and going back to like the TV shows you need to go understand the movies. This is how you do this. So see if you messed up in your movies or you didn't get to explain enough in your movies, then you make a TV show. That's how you do this. And so that's why I'm liking about Disney because they're going back and fixing their mistakes but not like making it a 4-hour movie cut. And
Right.
so, but I wasn't a big fan of Black Panther, so who knows? This might make me get into the history of Wakanda because I didn't really enjoy Black Panther that much. I don't know if you guys enjoyed it or not.
It was honestly all right, but I have to say that some of the effects in it were pretty dated when I first saw it,
Hmm.
and I mean, I did enjoy the storytelling. It's just crazy that I didn't see a lot of Chadwick Boseman, God bless his soul, in that movie a whole lot because a lot of it is focused on Michael B. Jordan's character, and
Which is supposed to be the
The villain.
protagonist is in the next one.
he, I think it's either it's gonna be him or it's gonna be the sister who is gonna be the protagonist in the next film.
I would say they never really made it clear, or if they have, I haven't seen any news on it.
Because after the sudden death of Boseman, they didn't know where they were gonna go with it. So
Well, and they've also confirmed that they're not going to be like, oh, so and so is going to pick up the mantle of the next Black Panther. Like they're going to leave it as Bosman's character, but they might have somebody technically use the suit and give themselves like a different name so they can still use some of that similar abilities. Because like we saw in Black Panther, there's multiple variations of his suit that they've been working on.
Mhm.
Who's to say that maybe Shuri, his sister, isn't going to be the protagonist? Fix up one of the other suits, make it, to T'Challa's level, and be like, all right, instead of being the Black Panther, I'm going to be this character, and I'm going to pick up where his legacy might have left off.
What do you think they're gonna do with this character? You think they're just gonna have him, just leave off screen and never explain, it, or is he gonna
I
die?
feel like they're going to explain it to some degree that fits the canonicity of what they've been going for, simply because we
Or
could.
multiverse, and so then they can recast him, maybe. I don't
I
know.
I think they're planning on doing
no,
that because that
At
would
least
make a
not right
lot.
now. At least not right now. But
no, because I think Boseman was seen by so many people as so perfect for that character that it would make so many people upset to replace him. So my theory is that they're gonna have possibly statues or memorial of T'Challa in there somewhere, and then just continue on with another character.
mhm.
So that's what I'm thinking.
And I mean, he's kind of had multiple chances to pass in terms of the Marvel movies. I mean, considering we didn't really, I don't remember if we saw a whole lot of him at the end of Endgame. Like, did we really see him standing with the crowd after they were given Tony's
He,
funeral?
I don't think he was there, but he definitely has the less screen time of all the characters.
Even though
Right.
That
even though he like the second one to come back after Falcon, I think. Remember? Yeah.
Actually, I think it was it Falcon who said like on your left, and then you saw T'Challa in them, and then Falcon
Yep.
flew right past them.
Yes.
mhm.
So I mean, it's like he had some great hero moments in his movie and outside of it, but I feel like they could always just be like, oh well, T'Challa went off on this mission, sadly passed after completing it, and to do that, here's some memorialization of him, like whether it's a few Easter eggs and nods in Falcon and
hmm
the Falcon and
The Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
yep.
But I mean, yeah, I don't know. We still don't know that much about it yet, but I'm definitely looking forward to it. Oh, I guess we should talk. We don't need to talk about the Joker. We technically discussed
That's
this to
really
Justice League.
because it's
No.
Jared Leto.
It's Jared Leto, and he was bad enough.
I mean, without all the extra explanations and all that as to his character, he was a pretty piss poor Joker.
Yeah, pretty
Yeah.
much. He was that
Um,
type.
so upcoming Star Wars TV shows, games, and comics. So this is kind of interesting. So we get a new series coming in, I think this year after the Mandalorian season 3 comes out. There's going to be there's the book of Boba Fett. So I think it's going to come out after the Mandalorian or maybe before. We don't know exact release date. But so there's a TV show for Boba Fett that's coming out soon, which is going to be kind of interesting because I think it's going to be live action as well. Which I hope it is because I kind of want to see more Boba Fett because he just has a couple appearances in the Mandalorian, does really nothing, and so is that something you guys are looking forward to?
Yeah, it's definitely something I I'm looking forward to, because going back to watch the original Star Wars films, I have to agree that Boba Fett was really underutilized in the was it Return of the Jedi that we saw him?
Yeah, because that was the one. I'm pretty sure that was the one with the Sarlacc pit, which started a whole gag of him constantly failing and being in the Sarlacc pit.
Yeah, so I really am looking forward to this, and plus I saw his appearances in The Mandalorian. I had yet to finish season 2, but from what I saw of him, he was freaking badass, and working alongside Mando was really something to see for me.
And I'm working on getting through the Mandalorian. But yeah, no, I kind of want to see more of where they take his character, simply because in other forms of canon, they've done well. In some of the comics, they've done well. Some of the novels of the past, video games, they've done well. It's just a matter of how well are they going to flesh him out. Like, I have a lot of hope that they're going to do well, like they've done with Mandalorian thus far. Uh-oh. If you lost us.
I don't know. My headset's been acting weird. Um,
But we can hear you.
you can hear me? All right, that's
Yeah.
fine. It's probably just my headset then. Need to figure out what's going on with that. Um, okay. The Bad Batch. All right. I don't. So the one thing it's gonna make me watch the Bad Batch is because it takes place right after Revenge of the Sith. It takes place after the Clone Wars and all that. That's the only reason why I'm gonna watch the Batch. I really don't care for them, right? At least for right now, because we don't really know anything about them. We don't know. I mean, we know their personalities, sort of, but they're not like a They're not a bunch of characters that really should be the lead of their own show when we don't really know them that much after just making one appearance at the
Yeah,
end.
I do think it's not really 100% necessary, because we don't know anything about them. Really.
I mean, before you just mentioned it, I kind of didn't realize what you were talking about. So,
Okay.
like I said, I'm still working my way through the Mandalorian.
He's a little bit slower than me on the whole Star Wars canon thing. So
Yep. So I gotta pick back up on that. Though I did get all just about caught up on WandaVision, because I finished all 4 episodes from the last time we talked, and then episode 5 dropped, so now I gotta go back and watch that.
Okay. All right. Well, at least hopefully you're enjoying it, because that's a
Oh
pretty
my
good
god,
show.
I didn't know what I was gonna think of it at first, because at first I was thinking, oh, we're gonna have a legit sitcom, and then it's gonna turn out to be something else, and I'm gonna enjoy it that way. I wasn't expecting it to be like legit sitcom with like actually great commentary on both sitcom tropes and then that dark boding mystery.
Yeah, paying
I
homage.
have not seen I have not seen a single episode of it yet. So, because I mean, I love Paul Bettany as Vision and Elizabeth Olsen, but I haven't not yet watched a single episode of WandaVision, and I'm really looking forward to that and putting that on my list.
See, one of my favorite gags from even just the first episode is quite literally when Vision was in his office job and he's like, "What do we do?" And like nobody could give him a straight answer whether they produced something or sold something or whatever. But he was just really good at whatever it was he was doing. And that was like the whole gag with his job. He has no idea what the heck he does.
Okay. I mean, yeah, the show's doing pretty well. Definitely wasn't expecting a whole lot from WandaVision, that's for sure. But they surprised me. So Star Wars movies that have been announced: Star Wars Squadrons, which is actually Rogue Squadron. I think that's what it's called. Yeah, which I'm very excited for because it's not, it's not part. It's not. It's gonna be more like Rogue One. So I really like Rogue One. I don't know about you guys. If you guys
No, I
enjoyed.
enjoyed it. I thought it could do a lot better.
I enjoyed Rogue One for what it was, and yeah, like I said, I agree with you. It could have been better, but for what it was, I was thoroughly entertained.
Because, I mean, you couldn't really get connected to him. You knew what was going to happen at the end of the movie when they basically flat out told you in movie lore, hey, this is the prequel to what you know and love happens.
And plus, it was I don't know how you felt about this, but I thought it was better than Solo.
Oh yeah, no, definitely, yeah.
I did not like Solo at all.
Solo felt like a script from a sequel to Ocean 11, and next they were just like, don't.
No, it was a Snorefest. I don't know if you saw it, but
I have not, but the thing is I'm not really looking into watching it simply because I have no energy to watch a solo movie that I have seen horrible reviews for all over the
The
board.
guy that plays Han Solo does a pretty good job. I'll say
yeah,
that. He does a good
yeah,
job. He actually kind of feels like Han Solo, but he just plays the same arc like in A New Hope. So
yeah.
it's like I don't know, but I mean, I definitely wouldn't watch Solo again. It's been years since I watched Solo. The last time I did watch Solo was doing my marathon for the Rise of Skywalker, and that's the last time I watched it. And
Yeah.
so
It's not really worth your time, man.
It's
no, it
really
isn't.
not.
Upcoming new Star Wars games. So if you guys haven't known, Lucas Films came out and um, announced that they're going to be taking control of all the Star Wars games. So they made Lucas Films Games. So now
Mhm.
whatever Star Wars games come out, they have to be under the name of Lucas Film Games. So this gives a little bit more leeway for indie games, which is really awesome. So now EA doesn't have the rights to just Star Wars, so anyone can make Star Wars games and release it. And so if they're even good, so
Well,
we
and see, the
get
thing is I kind of like that because, let's be honest, EA has done horrible with some of the games. Battlefront 1 and 2 were all right in certain retrospectives, but the fact that they eventually incorporated, the loot box thing where you had to pay to win basically or whatever, and it's like, it was pointless.
mhm.
EA had no right to make a game where you have to basically pay to get good.
Mhm.
Make a game that you can enjoy, make it a game that everybody can enjoy, and not be a pay to win. If you wanted to pay for a new skin or something, by all means, you do you. But I don't want to have to pay to get this really cool blaster gun that I can then take in and try to slaughter the competition.
Pay to have it at the beginning, but other people have to earn it,
Yeah.
type of deal.
Yeah.
Yeah. But so
Unnecessary DLC. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and so what's coming out that we know of and is Lego Star Wars the Skywalker Saga, which is going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait to play that. And I didn't actually know about this, but this has actually been I think announced, but Star Wars Battlefront 3. It's in the
Okay.
article, so I'm kind of curious if it is actually announced. And so if it's even true, we'll find out. I'll have to do a little bit more research on that. But EA better do good on Battlefront 3, or I think Disney might just block them forever. And so,
Yeah. Which
because we had
I
to
think
we
would
get we had to strangle them to make Battlefront 2 good. So
right. Yeah, because I didn't hear many good things about Battlefront One, but
it's definitely
like
better than Battlefront 2 because Battlefront 1 has a lot more modes and has a little bit more open to play, except for the
The only
customized
thing I didn't
size.
like about Battlefront 1 was like there was no story mode, or if there was, it did not feel
No,
good.
it was more of challenges.
Mm-hmm.
It that the challenges were basically story.
which, which is fine, but you also want to play story mode
Yeah.
to know the story and feel like you're part of the story. That's the whole
Mhm.
part of
Yeah.
story based video games.
Well, and see, that's kind of my issue with a lot of modern games anyway, Star Wars or not, is nowadays it's all, oh, just plug in your controller and fight other people. Like, no, I want to know a story. I want to know why my character is, trying to take down 99 other people and then some because,
Yeah, it's like playing the Uncharted games and not knowing who Nathan Drake is or what he's really fighting for. It's just there's not as much weight to it.
but now with Battlefront 2, they had a story mode that I heard some pretty good things about, and that was actually supposed to be canon to the Star Wars lore that was being made with Disney. So I don't know if that really carried a lot of weight either in terms of anything else, since it wasn't really that highly respected of a game. But if they do well with Battlefront 3, I'll be happy.
Mhm.
For now.
Yeah.
You might have heard the rumors of of a remake of Knights of the Old Republic.
Yes.
That's what's supposed to be by EA, if I'm correct. And so it's kind of being confirmed a little bit more that this will actually happen. So if it does, great, because I want I want something new. I want some Old Republic stuff. There were even supposed to be movies for the Old Republic.
I was seeing
So
that too. There was supposed to be
Yeah.
like a trilogy of movies for them, wasn't there?
yeah, but made the directors that were supposed to do it were the directors from Game of Thrones, and then abandoned it and they said, "Nah, we're gonna go work on a different TV show."
That would have been great though.
I was gonna
I
say
don't know.
it actually would have been really good because I haven't seen all of Game of Thrones yet. I've been trying to. It's one of the reasons why I bought HBO Max in the first place. From what I have seen thus far, I really like it, but I kind of I would have liked to see what they could do with Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
I like what they did with a lot of Game of Thrones. I've heard horrible things of the series finale. I'm not looking forward to it, but at the same time I am because I want to know what kind of hype happened that made the entire fan base drop and was like, nope, done. Washing my hands of this.
Your jaw will drop. I'll just say that.
Because
Yeah.
I have listened to every Game of Thrones book that has currently been released on my Audible account. Everything from the first main series book to the last released main series book and all of the side books in between, going over the history of the lands, going over the history of some of the characters, all the side stories that are supposed to be prequels to characters in the main stories, all of that I could find on Audible. I have listened to it. So I am waiting for Winds of Winter to come out because I am hyped for the next release.
So so there's been a rumor going around about the Jedi Fallen Order 2. So have you guys played any of the Jedi Fallen Order game? At least the first one.
I have not.
I honestly have not either because the only Star Wars games that I've ever played was the Revenge of the Sith on PS2. I played all the Lego Star Wars games because I love those, and I remember playing a lot of them on PS1 when that was relevant.
Mm-hmm.
So no, I have yet to play any of those current ones.
Okay, so I'm currently playing through Jedi Fallen Order, and so I was playing it months ago on the PS4, and it was freaking buggy as hell. Like it would lag during cutscenes, which was very weird, and no one has run into that problem but me. Everyone that I've asked that have played the game, that have finished it, never had that problem, which is kind of odd. I don't know if it's my PlayStation, but so then I started playing on my PS5. I'm still kind of having the same problems. It's not as bad, but I'm still having those problems, which is kind of weird. So
Maybe
I don't
it's your
know.
game itself. Is it downloaded to your console or
It's
do you have it
it's
on
downloaded.
Okay, then I don't know.
Yeah. So
If it was like a hard copy of the game, maybe you just need to clean your disc. But since it's downloaded, I have no idea. Can't help you there.
Did they have it on console or are they on PC?
it's on console. I think it's on PC. Maybe. I think it might be on PC because it's EA. So I don't know. It's kind of weird because I was playing because I just got to because there was one scene, one part where I was fighting the Night Sister, and there was a fighting combat one where when you were supposed to be blocking the lightsaber, and I appeared on the other side of her, and so she's basically like fighting the air, and I'm on the other side also fighting air, just like so. I'm like, what? How does no one run into this problem? How is it just me? It's happened on two of my consoles and even the next gen. So either people are lying to me or people just really didn't really run into that problem. I don't know. Like I honestly don't know.
They didn't touch it.
Yeah.
Or catch it. Yeah, that too. And so
I mean, there have been a lot of games that I've played that have probably been super buggy at times, and I just never caught it until somebody else points it out. Like the most recent game that I've been playing at all has been Kingdom Hearts 3, and I'm on my second playthrough of it because I beat it once. Now I'm just doing it again with, all of my unlocked keyblades and just slaughtering enemies left and right because I know what to expect now.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, that game also brings me a lot of joy when I go to like the Monsters Inc. world and the Toy Story world, and I get to see all these cool things and get to have like that nice little bit of heart to heart with Buzz and Woody of like, you've got a friend in me.
I still have yet to play those games, dude.
They are fun as hell.
I played the first and second one. I haven't gotten to Kingdom Hearts 3 yet, though.
Well, let me tell you, there's a lot of other games than just the numerical ones of 1, 2, and 3 that has a lot of lore.
Oh, yeah.
So either you could just watch YouTube videos on catch up on the lore, or you can somehow get past gen console games and just try to play them all
Yeah.
because they are
I would try my best, but
both difficult but fun. If you've ever played a role playing game where you have to constantly customize your character to get stronger and then beat the next level boss, you'll know how to play that game super easy.
Yeah, I tried Redborn. No, not Redborn. Bloodborne.
Okay.
I couldn't play that for an hour. I was done. I was
Was it
literally
because it was buggy? Was it too
no, I was just
tough?
getting pissed off. I was just literally getting pissed off. I was like,
Okay.
what am I supposed to do? I didn't even get past the first level. I was so confused. There was like not even a tutorial for it, but it's just
Bloodborne's
like
supposed to be like the sequel game to Dark Souls, though.
I think it came out before Dark Souls.
Did it?
so Dark Souls is probably a sequel to Bloodborne then.
I don't know. All I know about Bloodborne is you have a really dope scythe weapon.
Yeah. But I mean, there's a bunch of buttons that you have to remember as well. So
All I remember was Angry Joe just praising it like mad.
oh, yeah, I mean, there's not like it's not like it's a bad game. It's just not a game for me. So,
Right.
Right.
But see, that's kind of what I like about some of those games. Like one of my best friends on his Xbox and stuff, he was playing through Dark Souls, and I would find it to be the funniest thing ever watching him try to do like the mid-level boss, and he'd be like, "Yeah, I beat it." All of a sudden, here it comes with another health bar and a new form change to be like, "Oh, you think you won? Think again."
yeah. So speaking of other games, so MLB The Show 21 has been announced on the Xbox, and they have announced the covers and all that. So, have you guys played the show games?
Nope.
Or
Anything sports related on video games, I do not touch.
I
Okay.
have, but a few. I'm really not the best at those baseball games. I remember playing MLB a lot as a kid, and I played it in real life. So I'm definitely interested in seeing what 21 is able to bring because I don't know, 20 and 19 were not really eye catching to me. So I decided to skip those. But I'm actually looking forward to 21.
Okay, all right, yeah. I'm gonna get. I mean, I haven't really purchased one in a while because it's
Mhm.
literally the same game every year, and
Yeah,
so
dude, it's sports games. They're always the same. All they add is new athletes and change
mm,
up the rosters a little bit. And
and
every
update the
once in a
graphics.
while,
Graphics.
yeah, and every
Yeah,
once in a while, the graphics will look better, and sometimes they look like garbage. But and other times you'll have season mode, or create your own team, or create your own player, which I really enjoy. And I really hope they have that feature
yeah,
because I love creating my own player and just going to town on everybody.
yeah.
Yeah,
And
my whole
so,
thing is
the one thing I actually really want from a sports game, and especially in a baseball game, if there's like a open league you can get into, and you can play on one team with all your friends, and you're going against other players. That would be a cool thing to
That'd
do.
be amazing.
Like
That'd be a
you have a bunch of pitchers. Yeah, well, I guess that wouldn't make any sense. Then you would probably work something out there, but you
Well,
have
yes, it could
you
always
have
be
one.
like an interchangeable thing though. Like you can always be like, all right, so this inning you're the pitcher, next inning you are, da da da
Yeah,
da.
yeah.
And I
Like
mean,
your guys, you're getting too tired. You need to switch now, and so
well, and that would really take over the whole battle royale scene because right now every game coming out that's a first person or third person shooter is like, oh, by the way, don't forget this battle royale mode. That's gonna take up most of your game time because we
yeah.
think that's what you
The
want.
2020, I believe the 21 had a battle royale. It wasn't really battle royale. It was just called battle royale. It's more of like, I guess, risk, sort of, I
yeah.
guess. And so but yeah, like that would be a cool idea to do and something different. And if it's buggy, that's fine because at least you tried something new, and you
Mhm.
at least customize your own, your own player. You get to choose the position that you want to play, and you even can play with a bunch of randoms, and like still be game chat, so you could be able to communicate like, hey, I got the ball or something. I don't know, something.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
so,
that, that would
and this could be, a way, and like, because it's supposed to be on Xbox now, and I believe it's going to PC. And so this could be
That'd be a great way
a
for
step,
It
that
is.
could be a
crossplay.
small step to that. Yeah, I
Is
mean,
it on PlayStation 2 as well, or is that just
it's on.
Xbox and
No, it's
PC?
been no, it's been a PlayStation exclusive for years, and
Oh,
so
okay. So it's just now moving to these other consoles.
yeah, because
That'd be
I
a
think
great
I
way to
can't
have that
because I
console
think people are losing interest in playing it. So I think they're losing money because sports games just lose money every year, and
Hmm.
so except for Madden, I guess Madden's don't and FIFA, but
Yeah,
it's stupid. But so
a lot of them are really.
so this is probably their way to make even more money. And I think it's still, and I think this is actually a smart move on Sony because I don't think Microsoft gets any of the money because it's made by Sony. So
Right.
it's a Sony studio game. So this is actually kind of smart on Sony's side. And so,
Yeah, it is very
um,
smart.
but
Yes.
I'll definitely get it just to see how it looks like on the PS5. That's for sure.
I'll definitely check it out just see how it looks in general on my PS4 because I haven't gotten my PS5 yet.
Mm.
So yeah, I'll definitely check it out, see how that's like. But yeah, I agree with you that sports games have been losing money, more and more money every year, especially ones like WWE or FIFA and NBA. Because I mean, I mean, you play a lot of sports games yourself, right? You said.
I I play the ones that I feel like at least try, and I feel like MLB the Show at least tries in some way.
Mm,
But I'm not like a big sports game person. I used to play Madden, but then I
yeah.
was like, it's fucking, I don't care anymore. It's the same game,
Yeah.
and there's been evidence where it's literally a copy and paste, like,
Yep.
and so
Like
I don't want
evidence.
to give money to EA.
Between your guys' discussion of that, I don't have much to add because I don't play them. I'm one of those people who has to have a storyline, a reason to play the game, a reason to even spend upwards of 60 some odd dollars for a game. And if it's just like hit a ball or throw a ball and be lucky enough to catch it in quick action button pushes, it's not my thing.
Yeah. hmm Who knows? Maybe VR. I don't know. That would be
If they
something
did
new.
it VR, I'd give it a chance.
Yeah, because I was like, would you play VR sports games?
Maybe it depends on the game
I
because
think it would work well with baseball, but I don't think like
yeah,
soccer or,
Yeah,
football
yeah,
or anything like that. Well, speaking
yeah.
of other sports games, so EA has announced that they're going back to sports college football.
Hmm.
So why? I wonder why. Is it because they're losing money on Madden, or is it because they're about to lose the rights to NFL? I think both,
I would
because
say it has to be both
Yeah,
because both aspects are going to make them lose
because
tons of
don't they have a
money.
contract with the NFL if they don't make a certain amount of money by 2023, they lose the rights.
yes,
So
that's
this at least the
exactly.
exclusive rights, not the rights, but the exclusive rights.
Hmm.
So which is a good thing because I don't. Did Madden did well this year? Did how well
I
did
don't think
Madden?
so.
No, they just said it was basically copy and paste, and that it was pretty buggy, and that the DLC was, abysmal, and
I mean,
also it's not really giving fans what they really want, which I
let's
think is what really hurts Madden and
because
also
because it
NFL
was
as well.
2020, was it the 2021 one that was the new before the recontract?
Yeah, it was. I think
Okay,
so.
let me look up the what is it? It was at the budget, but let me look up how much it made. How much did make? All right, so how much did I can't find anything right now. That's too much research. I should have done that. But so from the sounds of it, it didn't do well, and it
No.
didn't make as much as EA wanted it to. So
For
they
me,
have.
the sports teams never really make as much
Mhm.
as they put into
No,
them. I never thought they did.
sorry, you cut it out on my end. What did you say?
I said I never really thought sports games made nearly as much as they put into them.
Oh
You
no,
make a game for like say 5 mil, and it's a sports game. I never thought it would even make up to 2 mil.
no. I think I think Madden, puts it like $8 million in their game every year to make it the same, which is kind of weird. So
$8 million for copy and pasting?
but I mean, this is so going back to the college thing. So I think the reason why they're doing this, one, it's just going to be the same game. I mean, I got into an argument with one of my friends that are excited for this game. I'm like, did you forget it's EA? I'm like, it's literally just going to be the same game, but with college players. And
Exactly.
so, and I don't, and like, he got mad at me, but I mean, I'm like, I don't care. I'm not buying it. It's EA. I know what they're doing. I know how they think because it's literally obvious. And I don't even think no one's gonna buy it. Actually, it might even who knows? It might do really well because it's college, and people will be like, oh, because like I saw a bunch of quotes like, oh, EA is just doing it for the fans. Are you sure? Are you sure they're doing it for the fans? Because I don't think they do anything for the fans. Remember, because we had to show freaking them to get Battlefront 2 the way it's supposed to be now. And so, I don't know. I don't trust it. EA.
That's bull crap. They never do anything for the fans because really all it is Madden with a different skin. That's all it is.
Exactly. It's literally, and I guarantee it, because I think it comes out this year, right? I think. And so, I guarantee if you look very closely, there might be the NFL logo in there if you can really find it, and that might even piss off the NFL. That might even piss them off a little bit more. It's like, really, you're gonna take now? You're gonna even destroy our college people, and so.
They'll do anything to get their money.
So I don't know if it's like exclusive rights. So I don't know if they can put actual college players in the game. I don't think it said anything about that.
I don't really know if it is, but if it is, I'll be shocked.
Because who runs the who runs the college stuff? I don't actually
no idea.
I don't know, and I follow it a little bit, but I'm not really in touch with with the college games as much as I used to be.
It doesn't. I think it's the NCAA. I think that's what it is.
NCAA, yeah.
Yeah.
And I barely follow the NFL as it is.
And so,
missing,
yeah,
Oh,
basically EA kind of ruins.
I'm not missing much with them either.
I think EA kind of ruins football for me because I used to kind of watch football. I'm not like a big person that watches sports. I'd rather play it than watch it. And so, and kind of like Madden was kind of my way to play football because I don't think I can play football. Yeah. And so, and so when it's the same game every year, I'm like, I'm done. I'm just over it. So EA, I mean, I don't know what else to say. I'm not buying it. I don't care what you say. I don't care what other people say. I'm not buying it because I know what you're doing, and it's not gonna happen. So
you see right through the bullshit. That's what makes you a smart guy.
Exactly. And I'm like the boy that cries wolf, but I'm telling the truth. And so, and people are gonna be sorry. People are gonna be sorry. I'm telling you.
Exactly.
Well, see, and it's like the conversation we had the last time me and you spoke of the whole Resident Evil 8 series. Like, we don't know where that's going, but we at least know they put effort into those games because it's taking place after 7. We know 7 was beautiful, 7 was fun, the DLC was great. This game is looking good. It's getting hyped up with the proper amount of hype of being like
Capcom has not messed up once. Maybe like
no.
I mean, I guess you can say Resident Evil 5 and 6
franchise.
But overall, they haven't messed up. They haven't lied to the fans. Like they literally said like if you go back to like the Resident Evil 5 and 6 might not have been good, but at least it's like, hey, this is gonna be a little bit different. This is gonna be a little bit more action packed, and they were honest. It's not like they were telling us, hey, this is the next big horror film game. So it's Capcom, I think, knows what they're doing, and Capcom will probably outbeat EA this year or any year.
Yeah.
And so
I've seen what Capcom has, and from what I've seen, I've been very impressed.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I've seen clips of the Resident Evil games. I have not played them yet. But
Resident Evil 7 is.
I am not. Like you do that all the time when you say something is perfect.
I'm not saying it's perfect. I'm just saying it's just kiss. It's good. It's.
It's wonderful.
Oh, yes, fantastic.
Oh, I bet.
Because Resident Evil 7 is by no means absolutely perfect.
Mm-hmm.
You've got some flaws in there. Like some people will say that might be wrong or this might be wrong. But when you play through that game, you get scared. You get a little bit of the action. You get puzzle solving. You get, you have to really ration your resources because it is a survival game after all. And then the story itself is actually really quite gripping, especially if you really scout out your environment and explore like the game wants you to, because then you find hidden bits of lore. You find extra stuff that helps you in terms of your resources. You actually get to experience a really good, I guess, gaming experience as a whole. Though, yes, there are some times where something might seem a bit repetitive or dumb.
Yeah, well, I mean, at least, and the game gives you something new every time. Like every single Resident Evil game is something new, and like it's like you get either new mechanics, you get new characters, a different side of that story from the previous game, like Resident Evil 2 and Resident Evil 3 for the same place, same time, just two like four different characters,
right,
dealing with something else, and so.
But you get to see it from both perspectives, because Resident Evil 2, it's like, okay, that took place before or right after Resident Evil 3's events occurred.
Oh, so Resident Evil 3 is a prequel to Resident Evil 2?
I think I got to look back at it simply because if you play the remake of it where you get the higher graphic content and all that, you see that welcome Leon sign from like Resident Evil 2 that you see when you go to investigate the police department. I think 3 is a prequel to 2 because a lot of the stuff that you do in the police department in 2 is covered up. It's hidden. So like that statue puzzle you have to do with the medallions, that statue is covered with a sheet to kind of keep you from completing that puzzle or attempting to. You also see how the police officer gets bit that you see in Resident Evil 2. You get to find out.
So he's in Resident Evil 3?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, all right.
Like Resident Evil 3 is the prequel to 2, and you see how he gets hurt. So when you see him in Resident Evil 2, and he's just lying there with this mysterious bite wound, you know how he gets the bite wound. You know what happens to him. You get to see, like, okay, so there is going to be future puzzle mechanics here, like they would seed in the game, even though you know it's a prequel, though it's a sequel title. And all that confusing stuff, like carrying all those numbers around.
SpongeBob movie is now been announced, and it's getting a premiere date. So I don't know. SpongeBob, like those like live action SpongeBob movies.
Let's not.
I'll be honest with you, man. I think this is one of
this is one of the silly topics. We can just go off and destroy it.
Oh, it's all right. I have a lot to say about this because I think this is one of the most pointless things I've seen in recent years because the plot is them trying to find Gary, which they've done before on the show.
Okay, but the show is going to be different than the movie. This time they kind of have a higher
budget.
But
why do we need a movie? We don't need a movie.
You don't need a movie.
But maybe this is gonna carry over from the series' version of it.
Is this even canon with the shows?
No, it's not.
I have no idea.
It is not even canon with the show. It shows how the characters met as children, which is bullshit.
Actually, they kind of.
This is like bullshit. Why do we have to? Okay, all right. Why do we have to have movies that are about animated characters from a TV show in a live action, human world? Like, why do we get this stuff? We get Smurfs, we get SpongeBob, we're even getting a Tom and Jerry. I freaking love Tom and Jerry, and next they're doing this. Yeah. It's gonna be bad. It's gonna be bad.
Yeah.
Thing is, though,
it has that actress that I can't stand.
But
it's not like I don't like the actress. It's just
I'm sorry.
She's just looking at thin air. She's just looking at thin air. It's nothing.
I'm with you, dude. I love Tom and Jerry, but there's just no reason to have them in yet another film. They already had like multiple.
If they wanted to make another film, why not just keep it animated? They're already animated.
Thank you.
But see, here's the thing. Me and Michael were talking about this yesterday when we were going to get measurements for the tuxes and all that. And I already know it's going to be garbage. Like a steaming pile of fresh, hot garbage.
Like Scoob?
SpongeBob or
Tom and Jerry. Tom and Jerry. Because
both are going to be bad.
In line, tying their bib, grabbing their silverware, going, yes, one ticket for hot garbage, please. this is absolute nastiness, but I just can't help myself because I love this shit. Like, it's my whole reason of why remake Space Jam with a 2 on it and a different actor to replace, whoever it was.
It was LeBron James replacing Michael Jordan.
Like, I don't need that. If you're going to give me Space Jam, bring Michael Jordan back. Be like, yo, Michael, we need your help again. And go through, like, the whole motion. We had Michael before. We're going to go for this guy here just because he's relevant.
Yeah.
And go for it there. It's like me saying I'm going to go make a murder documentary, but instead of doing O.J. Simpson, I'm going to use this guy, though he's never committed a murder in his life.
Yeah. I'm going to be completely honest. I completely forgot about Spaceballs. Not Spaceballs. Space Jam.
Space Jam.
Yes.
No, Spaceballs was a great movie, too.
Yeah.
The Schwartz twisted.
The Schwartz is strong with this one.
I can see your Schwartz is as big as mine.
Yeah, I don't know why like there's so many unnecessary sequels. Why didn't Spaceballs didn't get a sequel? I don't.
I would a sequel to Spaceballs would have been great if you could bring back Rick Moranis as Dark Helmet.
Dude, Rick Moranis, I feel like would in a hot minute be like, "Yo, you want me back as Darth Helmet? I'm in. Let's go."
Yeah, the dude's probably not acting right now. He's probably has nothing to do. I haven't seen him in years.
I saw him do actually. He
was Ghostbusters, wasn't it?
He was in a Mint Mobile commercial with Ryan Reynolds like this past year.
I think that's only because he's been taking care of his family for so long. He retired from acting long enough to do that, and now I think his family's getting to that point where he can do it again. He might come back out of the woodworks.
So, I mean, speaking of
on this SpongeBob movie,
garbage.
Yeah,
garbage.
You don't need it.
I don't care. Just like because it's the thing is I don't even think any of the SpongeBob movies that were released in theaters, especially the last one, did well. Like SpongeBob Out of Waters.
I remember seeing the first one when I was a kid in theaters, and it was actually good.
Yeah, I was gonna say the first one did pretty well. I think
that was when I was a fan, but then I saw Sponge Out of Water, and I just like not for me.
Isn't Sponge Out of Water the one where they're supposed to be superheroes on dry land?
Yes.
And
when they're not supposed to be, they're not supposed to be allowed on land.
Yeah.
Yeah, all because of a dolphin voiced by Ricky Gervais.
Wasn't Keanu Reeves also making a cameo in that one?
No,
wasn't he a fit? Yeah, what?
On the run.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So speaking of unnecessary sequels coming to America.
I've never seen the first one, so I can't.
I love the first one is so funny, but it's too late. Why now?
Yeah, it's that came out in like what 86, 87?
Something like that. Yeah.
Maybe they're trying to do a commentary of the last few decades.
No,
I mean,
why? He's already been to America. We don't need America coming to America too. We don't need it. It's gonna ruin. It's dumb. It's gonna be like Dumb and Dumber 2, but dumb.
Yeah. I heard that was bad too.
Dumb and Dumber is just
Dumb and Dumber 2 at first wasn't that bad, but then like the third act is where like it's like where it's like dumb.
Yeah.
And so
we don't really need another Coming to America because the only one I've seen in Coming to America is the barbershop stuff, and that's really funny. But other than that, it's not really necessary to have a sequel that's like over close to 40 years old. It's like Back to the Future 4. It's just not needed.
Yeah, there's a rumor.
I am a nerd, okay? I take that culture seriously.
A necessary sequel to Back to the Future 3?
Yes.
Back to the Future 3 is actually not bad.
Go back to 2010 and be like, quick, we have to prevent everything from 2020 from happening. We're going to do that 10 years in the past. We made it worse. Oh, God.
I mean, yeah, there's a rumor going around that Back to the Future 4 will be played by, Tom Holland as Marty. So, which I don't think it's actually happening.
They're gonna do that, just remake it. Just completely remake it.
No, I don't want no. Well, no, that's what it is. It's supposed to be a remake. And so
that makes more sense then.
But no, I would like it to be, if they're going to do it, I want that to be a sequel. Have it be his son or something like that. That's fine.
Yeah, have Tom Holland be Marty McFly's son.
That's fine.
Marty Jr. or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what that would be fine with, because if you if you guys haven't seen my episode with the Slice of Life that was before Zach's episode, we talked about that and we went off about like how it could have gone where, his son has, because like, what Marty did with, the past might have, messed with, the time, whatever they call it. And so he has to go back in time and undo what his father did. That would be actually really good and sad.
Yeah, a bit more of a serious take with what was just played off for laughs.
Yeah, that could be a sad story. Like that really could be sad if they did that.
Yeah, it could, but I kind of want to see that because I mean, let's face it, the first 3 movies, all of the stuff they did in terms of time travel was generally played off for laughs. The only sad scene that comes to mind is in the first movie where you think Doc Brown is shot and killed, and Marty had failed his mission.
And the second one, I guess, too. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, but how many times are they going to try to make you think, oh no, we killed a signature character that you could probably guess is not gonna die?
I mean, I don't know. I really enjoyed the first one. I enjoyed the second one. Third one's okay. It's not bad. The only thing I liked about that one was the train scene. That's the only thing I liked.
Up to 88 miles an hour.
Yeah, it just like just with the music and like them trying to get on the train and all that. That was like the best part. Everything else before that was just like the first movie all over again. Like,
it's definitely a repeat of the first one.
But I mean, if they did a 4th one and Tom Holland was like Marty McFly's son, who would they get to play Doc Brown, or would Doc Brown reprise?
The actor's still alive. He doesn't have to do anything.
Alive, but would he reprise his role, or would he pass it off?
I think he'd play it until he flipping passes away, because nobody else, I think, could be Doc Brown other than Christopher Lloyd.
Yeah, and they even get Michael J. Fox to come back. They don't have to do anything. They just have to be there and be like, hey, we're still alive, by the way.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I know Christopher Lloyd is still alive because he's played in a few things in recent years, hasn't he?
I think so. He's been teasing like Back to the Future for a while. He's been teasing like Back to the Future 4 also for a while now. So like, have you seen like those like trailers for Back to the Future 4 where there was like, so I was in the theater. I don't remember what movie it was, but I was in the theater and there was like this box and next there was like a message from Marty and next there was like Doc Brown and it was like, oh great Scott, and it's like something like that. And I was like, wait, they're actually doing Back to the Future 4? Like what is happening? But no, it's like a tease type of deal. I was like, fuck you, screw you, I'm done.
See, again, like we've been saying, if it's like his son having to fix his mistakes, like the timeline is just falling apart, I'm all in.
Yeah.
But if it's literally going to be a reboot,
Universal. If someone knows that, if someone knows Universal, please get this to them. This is a really good idea, but I better get some credit. Put my names in the credits.
Like have us be there to help direct and produce it. Like, oh,
Yeah.
okay, here we go. We're going to make this the most emotional heart ride ever, but we're also going to make it the most epic thing you've ever seen. More epic than Endgame. Let's go.
Yeah, make it like you can make it still fun, but at least have that at least make it a little bit more serious and have something new. Because I actually generally like the idea of him going back in time, have to undo everything that his father did that made his father's life much better. Because I think
Which
that's
means
just
he'd have to stop his father from.
that means even Brown dies at the end,
Yeah.
which is actually probably a good send off for his character.
It probably
Maybe.
would, because it's like, okay, you've played this character for so long, but we have to give you a proper goodbye. So like the entire time we get this emotional buildup with Doc Brown having one more chance to inspire one more McFly. So he gives him that one more inspirational hurrah before we see Carcass.
Right.
Yeah.
It honestly would actually be interesting to see.
It would.
I
mean, it would work. It has the potential to work. It's just a matter of what people want to actually put in that effort, or they're just going to be like, "Hey, remake the first movie. Let's go."
Yeah, but talking about coming to America, it's just why? I mean, Eddie Murphy is no longer really relevant anymore.
I don't even think he's acting.
No, I know he's doing Shrek 5. I think
That's
Shrek 5.
Yeah. Did you hear you heard the story that I think this year or next year Shrek 5 is coming out with the same people? I mean, I know, dude. I know.
The
It's
fourth one was bad. The fourth one
I
was.
know, man. I know. It's just that DreamWorks just needs more money in their freaking pockets. So
No,
yes,
they don't got anything else. They don't have anything else up their sleeve. They can't be Pixar's and make something creative and new.
no, I mean, after you make did DreamWorks do the cruise, or was that somebody else?
I think that was DreamWorks.
Because
I
DreamWorks has
think it
been
was
working
DreamWorks.
on those Netflix original TV shows with Jurassic Park and
Yeah.
Fast Spy Racers, which was very dumb. That both of them
So
are
the ones
dumb.
that I know DreamWorks has done has been the new Voltron series that has came to its conclusion after 5 seasons, which is impressive. She-Ra, which finally came to a conclusion after 5 seasons, and I actually watched that one completely through. I loved it. If they could create more like movies and shows with that level of detail and continuity, it would be phenomenal. Because there's one episode that stuck out to me throughout the whole series that really made me cry.
Who knows? They might belong in TV shows at
They
least
would.
now.
Yeah,
DreamWorks.
if anything, you know what? Just make Shrek into like a TV show, maybe.
I don't even
And
want more Shrek. I'm done with
Don't
Shrek.
want more Shrek.
no,
Because I'm tired of hearing about
He-
Shrek. I'm tired of hearing
They,
about.
you know how many happy endings he has? It's like,
like 4.
yeah.
I mean, the way they built
Happy
the way they built their world is, yeah, you're not gonna have just
Look.
one happy ending,
Look.
but you've given a happy ending to him, to Fiona, to Donkey, to the dragon and Donkey's babies, which are supposed to be
This
adorable
is
and
this is
exciting,
like
or
this
just
is like
grotesque.
like the Fast and the Furious movies, like unnecessary sequels. Fast and the Furious should have ended with Fast Five because I think that would have been a perfect send off for every single character.
Again.
Yeah,
Like because we knew where everyone was going. Like we knew Han was going to Tokyo to die. I mean, like we knew where everyone was going.
Yeah, but
And
they retconned that, and now
yeah,
Han's back.
yeah.
Han's alive. John Cena is Dom's brother,
Which was never mentioned. Like
and
it's Dom.
They're doing like 2 more, and then they're gonna wrap it up.
I think it's supposed to be done after 10. Furious 10.
They're going to space, guys. They're going to space. I don't want you to go to space. I want you to go back to fucking racing.
I think Fast 10 they're considering actually taking the crew to space with cars. Yeah.
They're gonna have pod racing.
Those.
They're gonna have pod racing, guys.
Let me just get in my bag. I'm gonna find my drugs and I'm just gonna overdose now because I don't want to be in a world where that happens.
There's no originality anymore. I just want to die.
Like,
I
and
mean,
honestly, it should even stopped after Furious 7 with what happened with Paul Walker. I think it would have been a respectful
Yeah,
thing.
I definitely agree with that. After Paul Walker, what happened with him, they just should have ended it.
But no, Vin Diesel is like, we care about family, so if you care about fucking family, you would have stopped after 7. Don't give me that crap.
Oh, you don't care about family. You care about filling your pocket.
Yeah, exactly. Because he like talks about so much about Paul Walker, like when he's doing interviews, and he's like,
Mhm.
I'm like, you fucking piece of shit, you fucking asshole.
Like this is what Paul would have wanted.
It's like no, I mean maybe he would have.
Not what Paul would have wanted.
see, I never watched Fast and Furious. I could never get into it. Don't get
You
me
know,
wrong.
the thing is, it's not like it's. I mean, it's fine if you want to keep making Fast and the Furious movies, but I'm like, how did you get from fucking street racing to spies? How the fuck do you go
that's
from
kinda
that?
hard. Like when me and Mike, well, my question was like, when me and Michael saw Hobbs and Shaw and did a review of that, I was fine with that. Like,
No, that's a garbage movie. You better not be fine with that. Fuck that. That's the reason why we're going to space.
what? You're talking to somebody who's never watched Fast and Furious, and my introduction to it was Hobbs and Shaw.
And
I'm fine leaving it at Hobbs and Shaw.
I will say Hobbs and Shaw was pretty damn stupid, but the only thing that's enjoyable is The Rock and Jason Statham working off each other.
Their banter. Oh my God.
That's really it, because everything else, like The Rock holding a helicopter with his arms with a chain, which is
See, if it didn't have the Fast and the Furious name on it, that would have been like a fun B movie. But the reason it has the fat,
that's what I saw it as a B movie, because at this point, Fast and Furious to me is about as redundant as making live action Tom and Jerry. It's about as redundant as making another Avatar or making the live action Avatar: The Last Airbender,
or making a
All of
live
those.
Disney movie.
or that, or remaking Disney movies in live action. All that redundant. Hobbs and Shaw, I'm not gonna lie. It was a plate of hot garbage, but guess what? I ate it up, and I'm like, it's okay. I mean, I'm not gonna go for seconds, but
look
See,
at
this is
dumb-
reason why Hollywood doesn't care, because you're spending money to go watch this hot garbage, and you're like, it's fine, I enjoy it. No,
Because there's
quit.
no originality anymore, man. That's why they keep making this stuff.
you know what though?
I'm not getting.
Whenever
You know what? I'm gonna go. You know what? I will go see Fast Nine, but you know that AMC thing where you get to see 3 movies a week for free because you pay monthly for
Yeah.
AMC. I'm gonna use one of those on that fucking movie, and fuck you, Universal. Like, see, Universal is basically the EA of movies, and so
Yeah, and Disney.
Hold on.
I think Disney's a close second.
I have to know, where is your filming location? Because you should come on our show once we get back into theaters.
Yeah, we'd love to have you sometime, man.
That way we can just listen to you rant about this horrible movie that we just watched, just so we can see how angry you can get at it.
if you want to see me get angry, you can go watch my Dark Fate video. That's
Oh yeah, we actually saw Dark Fate, and honestly, looking back on it, it's not as bad as Genesis, but it's just not necessary at all.
I would rather watch Genesis.
Really?
I would rather, because it just Dark Fate shits all over the second one.
Yeah. I mean, you can't top Terminator 2.
I mean,
Which it's like, hey, this is gonna take us in new directions, but make the fucking second movie all over again. It's a big middle finger to you. That's what Fast and the Furious is. That's what Tom and Jerry is. That's what any freaking unnecessary movies are. It's just a big middle finger to you. And so
it's like a middle finger to you, but they're also going into your pocket to take your money because that's all they want. They're feeding the same stuff.
Whatever movies I really don't care for, I use that AMC deal. I just like, you know what? I'll pay for this movie because I think I'm going to enjoy it. But no, I knew Dark Fate was going to be bad. I know that Fast 9 is going to be bad, but it's still going to make money and people are still going to love it because I freaking hear that people enjoy the freaking Fast and the Furious movies after 5. It's like, why? It's like, fuck off. This is my series. Screw you. If you didn't like them before, fuck off.
Jesus.
Yeah,
That's a bit intense there, buddy.
Yeah, see, dude, not everybody likes the Fast and Furious movies.
I know.
Ask this guy.
I don't either.
I don't either anymore. It's just after Fast 5, they just went downhill.
Because they make freaking these terrorists or these criminals spies. That's not how name one criminal that is very popular that becomes a spy. One, that's very stupid because now after all these, this very known criminal, what's his Dom? Yeah, Dom, whatever. Vin Diesel. If you after the 6th movie, everyone knows that Dom's like a part of the spy whatever crap. It's like you can't that's not it wouldn't work. I mean, yeah, you're taking a criminal name and you're putting him basically undercover because he's known for what he's done. But after you discover that he brought down a big baddie, it's like, why would I ever want to trust this guy? Like, he just I don't know. It's so stupid. Like, you're taking a really well-named person and putting him in the middle of a battlefield, and so it just wouldn't work. Why? What? That's why you're called spies. So you have different names, but Dom is a too recognizable face and too recognizable because of what he's done. It wouldn't make any fucking sense.
Breathe. In.
Need his water
out.
break. Need water
In. Out. You can take that Fast and Furious.
No, trust us, man. We've been just the same as you when we saw that really shitty Lion King remake. So
I'm basically Angry Joe too. I'm basically the Angry Joe show too. So I don't care. And if I don't get in, because I've been really wanting to get into the filming business. If I don't work for Universal, that's fine. I'll be happy not to work for Universal.
Some of that stuff myself. We could just do what me and Michael have talked about. We'll start a small production studio and do short films and shit and work our way up.
Exactly.
We'll be more original than freaking Universal ever will anymore.
I mean, we've already discussed names and all that. All we'd really have to do is just get a crew of people to help with script writing, filming, and makeup and effects.
And a well-known studio area as well. I mean, because we wouldn't be able to pay to go out into public and close down roads to do
No,
anything.
I mean, like, there are parts of towns that we can always go to. Be like,
Yeah.
oh, quiet enough place. We're gonna film a few scenes here. Oh, we have to have an epic action scene. Well, let's go into the woods and we'll do it like a B movie style, where 1 minute we're in the town and then the two people clash for an epic battle, and you just see them in the middle of the woods going at it, no hold barred.
Yeah, exactly.
Boxing movie in the woods.
Rocky 6 in the woods.
Rocky 6. His internal struggle with his demons.
No, it would be Rocky 7. Yeah.
Yeah, Rocky 7. Yeah.
Yeah.
Rocky Balboa isn't bad.
It's
right.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's just not nowhere near as good as Creed.
I don't even care for the Creed movies, to be honest.
I haven't seen Creed yet.
Creed's good. I haven't seen Creed 2. I just hear that it's.
I feel like Creed 2 is very the cheesy one of the Creeds, but I enjoyed it because it's basically a sequel to the fourth one. So
yeah.
Once again, thank you for Mike and Zach for joining me this episode. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the episode. Like again, go down in the description, check out their channel, go comment on their recent videos so then I can know that I'm doing something good and helping out other channels. So anyway, guys, hopefully you guys enjoyed the episode. And like always, I'll see you guys next episode. Bye, guys.